did the Purdue game build confidence now that you got a second start under your belt?
Yeah, I mean, I think it definitely comes with experience, and I think, only playing left guard now for about 16 days, I think. So it's, every snap, every rep counts, and I think that definitely helped us, me and Donnie, just that chemistry and our O-line overall of just kind of like fixing or kind of working out some of those smaller kinks. I mean, obviously going into the latter half of the season, so I think it definitely is nothing but beneficial.
Obviously, we talked to you right after the Penn State game, but looking back on it now, what made you ready to step up?
Yeah, I think that just comes from, kind of that next man up mentality. Obviously understanding the offense. I mean, that kind of falls on the guys around me and, obviously coaches keeping us ready wherever we need to be. And then also, like, being an interior guy, you can kind of understand a little bit more. Obviously, you can kind of move around because you work with those guys directly a lot. So becoming one of those guys is, I wouldn't say secondhand nature, but it's definitely a little bit easier than going from, like center to tackle or anything like that.
Yeah, what was the transition like going from center to guard?
Yeah, I mean, it was a little bit interesting. You're kind of going from the phone booth to like a shed, I wouldn't say the island, but a little bit bigger. So you got to get a little used to being on your own a little more, which, I'm still figuring it out yet, but definitely something that keep on developing into this, later half of the season.
Carson, when you say the shed, does it mean you're more space?
Yeah,
tighter space?
Yeah.
What's the adjustment like in more space?
Yeah, so I mean, obviously as a center, you usually have the guards help, whether it's in like slide side protections or something like that. But being a center or being a guard now, you kind of get with more of those one-on-one blocks. Whether it's Tyleek or any of the guys in the field, that's obviously a little bit different. Just getting used to that, getting used to throwing hands is a little bit different. So just working on it every day, trying to get better.
How has it helped having Donovan to your left? He was there all last year when you were center. He was left guard. Now you're just kind of moved over. Does it help to have the same guy to your left?
Immensely, yeah. I mean, obviously Donovan's a great player. He's a great guy. So like our chemistry is really good, whether that's with, trusting each other's calls or, asking him if I'm not really exactly sure like what I should do on this set or how I should work my hands on this play. He's like super knowledgeable in that fact. Even though he's learning a new spot, he's definitely helping me out a lot.
A bit of a scare when you went down there in the Purdue game. Just kind of walk us through what was going on there and kind of what happened.
Yeah, I mean, Donovan's superhuman, so he was trying to duff guys everywhere. Unfortunately, one was right into my knee, so just hyperextended a little bit. But obviously, thank God I was wearing a knee brace right there. Obviously, it could have been a lot worse watching the film, but definitely was saved. So obviously a little fortunate. I think probably got a little more scared than I was actually hurt in that scenario. It's one of those where you kind of go down and you're like, you don't know, and all of a sudden you move it a couple, pumps, and you realize it's still there, and you're like, okay, I'm good to go.
And then with Donovan too, like Coach Day was talking this week about, it's almost to the point where you're calling him a tackle because he's obviously playing it, but long term potentially for him, not only just this season, but maybe later in his football career.
Yeah.
What about that transition has he done so well? They mentioned maybe him trimming some weight, but also just like what stands out about his athleticism out there.
Well, Donovan's a freak, so anything he wants to do, he play center if he wanted to. But I think just the way he can just understand his leverage and understand his arms are freakishly long. So that obviously helps with his punches and throwing his hands and stuff like that. But also just his spot mechanics, obviously being pinpoint on, just understanding where he needs to be. Obviously that comes with experience as a veteran guy. So it's just been fun to watch him just easily kind of make obviously working on making that transition out and just helping our team.
Carson, there's a lot that mentally goes into playing center.
Mm-hmm.
How has that helped you play guard, and what kind of things can you take from playing center? Checks and things like that can help you understand the defense a little bit better when you play guard.
Yeah, I think coming from a center standpoint, you can kind of see the defense a little more and understand kind of the why you're doing a lot of these things. And I think that definitely helps at guard, understanding kind of the angles and the kind of blocks you're going to be putting out there on the field. And then obviously the communication, you kind of understand right away. And even if we'll go out there and Seth will make a check, and I'm kind of thinking I'll kind of make sure I'm double checking this is where we're going and stuff like that, because we both kind of have the same mindset of obviously want everyone to be on the same page. And I think he's been super great at that. So just trusting each other has been huge.
What's it been like working with Seth, and kind of what lessons have you taken from a guy who's been in big time environments?
Yeah, I mean, like Seth is just Seth is just really great at just being relaxed in situations, but also playing like incredibly physical. I think the way he has brought kind of that physicality, the O-line has been immense. I think his mindset and his knowledge of just of football in general has been huge. Just because, obviously a younger guy, you're kind of just like holding on to like I know this play, but now you understand like why we're doing this and why the defense looks this kind of way, and like what would be another good play we can run into this, and what kind of angles we can take here. So, I mean, honestly, everything he's done a great job of just leading our team.
Reflecting on the last.
Oh, you're good. Just go ahead.
Just reflecting on your last year, what has it been like for you to process all this? I mean, last year you're starting at center, and you come back this year, it's a different role than what you had last year. Then to kind of get thrust into the Penn State role. I mean, your career trajectory's kind of been different maybe than some other guys. Just what's that been like?
Yeah, I mean, just trusting God's process. I mean, I definitely did not have a left guard on my mind coming into this year or last year, but just trusting the plan, trusting that I'm going to do everything I can for this team. I'm not going to leave my brothers out to dry or anything like that. I'm not going to be petty in any way. So just giving all I can, no matter what position I play. I mean, I remember coming into college, I was like, I'll play center or safety for you. It doesn't really matter as long as I can get out there and help the team.
Last week, Brian talked about your growth and maturity-wise. What does that look like to you? How is that taking shape? What does that look like? Have you felt that growth in the maturation process?
Yeah, and I think coming in as a freshman, you kind of experience life like trying to sip out of a fire hose. It's kind of hard trying to take it all in, and having those anxieties and stuff. It takes experience, and as much as you hate to say that, like as a younger guy, because you're like, man, I want to be there right now. Obviously, it takes time, and just like being able to be more relaxed in those situations and seeing looks and being like, okay, I've been here before. Like I know I know what I'm doing because I've done this before, 100 times. So I think that's definitely been beneficial. I mean, no matter if you're playing center, or tackle, or whatever, you can understand a defense now, and everything starts slowing down a little bit for you. Whether that's playing in the game or just like being with the guys and watching film like that. So it's all been good.
All right, Carson. Thank you.
For sure. Thank you. Oh, jeez.